Alright, what's up YouTube? 702 guy here with part 3 of the step-by-step tutorial on how to make a dubstep song. Basically what this tutorial is going to be about is going to be about the bass line in the dubstep song, which is the most important part. It's what makes the dubstep song. So basically what I've put together is I've put together some bass lines, as you can see right there with my bass line 1, 2, 3, and 4. One thing I forgot to talk about in the last video, one way I like to do my songs is, I don't know how you guys like to do it, but I like to have everything organized. I color code the stuff, like the beats are all blue, the effect kind of things, they're yellow, the voices are purple, and like my bass lines are green. That's just how I am. That way I can just be like, oh okay, I need to add a bass line in here and just be able to add it in. It's a lot easier to use. But basically I put together a couple of bass lines and the drop. The drop is really important too. The drop is what sets it off. If you don't have a good drop, it could totally ruin your dubstep song. You don't want to just kind of ease into the dubstep. It's not really good. What you want to do is you listen to big people like Dr. P, Rusko, Caspa, all them. They always have drops. They don't just like ease into their songs. That's what makes them really good songs. For those of you who don't know what the drop is, basically what a drop is when you're going from the melody from the intro and then you go into the bass line. And it's just a hit. It's just all of a sudden all these volumes turn up and it's just amazing. So what's going to happen, I'm going to show you what the drop sounds like. So this is my drop. So you see how that works? It's like, it basically just goes from these levels kind of being low to all of a sudden it just has this huge punch. And that's what you want to do. You want to create a really good drop. So basically I'm going to play my whole bass line for you, and then I'm going to go into detail and explain what I've done. So here we go.
Destroy.
260 AK-47s.
'So that's my bass line right there. That's what it is. So I'm gonna basically walk through with you what I've done. So the first sounds you're hearing I've labeled as filthy, like, cause that's what I have the sound saved as. And you might be wondering what the 1/8 and the number 2 and the number 2 and all that stuff, 1/12, what all that stands for. Basically what I did with each sound is in the filthy. This is the one I taught you how to make in the last video. What I did is on my sync I have different sounds. I have them labeled the way I want. Some people think it's easier to use a sync, but I like to use this because it makes the sound more unique. But so I turn the rate down on this one. So this one has the lowest rate. That's why it's labeled 1/1. 1/4 is the second rate. It's a little faster. 1/8 is just a little bit faster than that. And same with 1/12. Now what the number 2's mean is they're my second sound. Because basically what I've done is if you compare number 1 to number 2, I've put number 2 up just a little bit more. So that way it doesn't affect the sound as a whole, it just affects that part. Also the other sound I have that I made it's like yo yo yo. It's a thing you hear in a lot of songs. It kind of sounds like it's talking. So like here, I'll play that part for you again. Kind of see what it sounds like. It kind of sounds like it's kind of talking a little bit. Here it's kind of like making that yo yo yo. So basically what it is it's pretty much the same thing as the other sound, except what's different is, or it's the same thing as the filthy sound, but what's different is on the modulation oscillator, I hit the phase 3 button and I turned it up all the way. Answer 1, I put sample and hold and turned both the dry wet and the pitch up all the way. And I also added another filter. Actually no, the filter doesn't matter, my bad, I took that out. Scratch that. Well, what I did is also added a C2, left that how it is, and I did a reverb, a small reverb, and I turned it down about a quarter. And then I left both sine waves, but I moved the sine waves to look like that. So it gives you this sound. Here, I'll show you. It kind of sounds like it's talking to you, which is good. It's a unique sound. It's one of my favorite. You hear it in a lot of songs. What else I did for the bass line is I also added a bass booster. I basically linked every channel to mixer number 3. How you do that, just for the people who don't know. What this little button is right here, when you click on a thing, you got the effects. What you enter it in, or what number is there, is what insert is going to be in. So I put in insert number 3. And what I did with all of them is I inserted a sound goodizer, and I turned it up all the way. And then I inserted a fruity bass boost. And I didn't turn this up all the way. I turned the frequency to 46 Hertz. I can't really tell you what the amount is, but it's just under the halfway, because one of the important things is you want to add a lot of bass, but you don't want to add too much bass. So like for example, this is the bass line 1. Okay, but see, if I try to like turn it up all the way, you don't want to do that because it's gonna really distort the sound. This is what it sounds like when you turn it up all the way. It's a really, really ugly sound. So like I said, you put the frequency down to 46 Hertz, and then you turn the amount down to right about there. So you hear it's really bassy, because like for example, if you didn't even have this effect in here, if I just totally turned down the bass all the way, actually if I just replace the effect with nothing, this is what it sounds like. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I gotta take out the sound goodizer too, that's my fault. You hear how it's kind of like it's really wimpy. It's definitely not good for a drop. So you definitely got to put in that sound goodizer, turn it up all the way, and also insert your bass boost. Because without those two things, your sound's going to be really low, and it's not going to be very good. Like I was saying, or like I said in the earlier videos, you don't have to do everything exactly like mine. Depending on the sounds you make and depending where you put your things, can affect how you use your bass boost. So you just play around with it until you get the sound you like. So another tip for you and what I did with these notes is basically I switched up the tone, because I don't like doing I know you can do automation clips and record and stuff, but I find that a lot more complicated and it's hard to get the sounds I want. So what I do is, like I said earlier, I separate them into different things. Oh, where am I plugging now? Oh, there it is. But I separate it into different things, because if you don't do that, like if you just have one and you just try to switch it back and forth, it's not going to sound any good. So you can hear, like on the first one right here, the first note is really fast, and then it goes slower to fast again, and then it goes to like medium speed to really slow. So it changes up the sound and makes it more unique. So that's another thing you want to do with your sound. One thing I just wanted to show you, I'm not going to go into detail with this is going to be in the next video. I added this little thing in here. It says 260 AK-47s. It's just another voice. Basically, this is kind of an example of what you need to be doing with your bass lines. Is you don't want to just have the whole song as a straight bass line. You want to be adding different effects in there and stuff, which is what I'm going over in my next video. The next video is going to be primarily focused on all the effects and how to make the sound come out more. And so I'm not going into detail of that right now, but basically I'll show you the bass line one more time. Actually, I'll show you the whole entire song so you guys can get a feel for it, and then you can know how you want to do your song. So here we go.
AK-47s.
So that's pretty much it. One thing I forgot to mention is don't limit yourself to just basically one straight line all the time. Like if you look here, what I did is I put shorter notes in here so it gives that sound. So I have like one long line and then it breaks it up and cuts it up and makes it sound better. So you don't want to just limit yourself. You want to be able to experiment. Remember, when you're making a dubstep song, you can't just try to make a song in one day. It's not going to work. You need to be experimenting with stuff. You need to be doing everything you can. And what I learned from my experience with making this is don't just settle for what you got first. Listen to it. Have other people listen to it. Make sure that it's how you are or how you want it to be. So don't just release stuff. That's it might get frustrating sometimes. You might not get the sounds you want, but eventually after you're doing it for a while, you'll get the sound. So remember, just don't rush it. So that's pretty much it for this portion of the tutorial. So make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.